There is no doubt about it that I am the greatest Warcraft YouTuber out there. And because of that, I am here to educate and enlighten you upon a subject that many people seem, I'm gonna be honest, too dumb to understand what they're talking about, and that is the need for Cata Classic. Why we need Cataclysm Classic as a thing, and why it shouldn't end at Wrath of the Lich King Classic, because, yeah, screw that. Wrath of the Lich King Classic might have been good back in the day when its only rivals were other bad MMORPGs, but Cataclysm Classic is the thing that made the game boom. It had the most variety in it, and it had the most interesting concepts and quality of life improvements. Something that Wrath of the Lich King, the Burning Crusade, and the original Vanilla, well, they were lacking in it. You understand? And their competition wasn't that great or big either. And you know what? Here's another point for Cataclysm. It brings back Deathwing. You know Deathwing, that evil guy that you had to deal with in Warcraft 2? Their last good villain based on the original RTS games. Yeah, he comes back. He's the main boss in this. And the raid for the Dragon Soul is, in my opinion, one of the best raids they've ever made. It's only outshined by the Siege of Orgrimmar, and not by a lot. It's only a little bit that makes the Siege of Orgrimmar better than Dragon Soul. And I'm telling you, Dragon Soul is amazing. You have to experience it, even if you're souling it right now on that disgusting thing as retail in Shadowlands. You have to experience it. Moving on to other points. Cataclysm Classic is a necessity. Why? Because through all the changes that Blizzard has done to Wrath of the Lich King Classic, it has created an abomination of what was once a good expansion. Yeah, it is an abomination. From the woke stuff in it, like, for example, changing the body types, removing names and portraits and stuff like that, all the way to its current iteration, they have turned it into an abomination. Warcraft itself is an abomination at this point, don't get me wrong. It is nothing like it used to be. And while Dragonflight has an excuse because it's written by somebody that can't write and is very bad at storytelling, Wrath of the Lich King Classic doesn't have this problem. But the storytelling gets elevated to 11 once we go to Cataclysm Classic that has the better stories. And here's another point. Cataclysm brings so much quality of life improvements. You no longer have only random dungeon finder, you also have looking for raid, which is basically for all the casuals out there that want to experience a raid at its lowest difficulty possible. Yep, you even get that, and that was a casual and new noob friendly improvement. Except what Fickle and the Fickle and the Warcraft Classic, Fickle Andes, whatever you want to call them. What these fickle and feeble-minded people will say next is that, oh, random dungeon finder and looking for raid, they ruined Warcraft, it sucks because of that, that's why its population went down. No, the population of Warcraft was going to go down either way. It was a matter of time that will happen. It's inevitable for it to happen. That's the same reason. At this point, with Dragonflight about to launch, I'm telling you, there are less people playing it than there were people playing it in Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, when people started leaving. Yeah, Wrath of the Lich King brought in a bunch of people. Cataclysm lost them, but it didn't lose it by the fault of the expansion. It lost them by the fault of the game being the game itself. Because Warcraft in of itself is kind of a boring game if you don't like the grind, if you don't like to have to hassle that much with the game. Oh, you gotta earn everything. No, here's the problem. You can earn everything without turning it into a second job. Not everybody wants to spend a million nights playing PvP to get #1 Gladiator or whatever it was in Classic. I've done that in like a few days, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that Cataclysm brings in stuff that is proper and good for new players to experience the game. It was probably one of the best expansions out there to bring in new players. And sure, as I said before, Cataclysm lost people, but people were going to leave Warcraft. There's no doubt about it. Because even the people that had an emotional connection to Warcraft from the RTS games, the best games ever made, by the way, and the games that really should get more respect than whatever they're doing with Reforged right now, those people kind of lost their bit for it because Arthas was gone, and Arthas was the bad boy. He was the villain, the person we need to defeat the most. And once that was done, you're not gonna retain the same number of players. Now, Classic Andes need to understand, games don't last forever. Surprisingly, games will dwindle in population as time goes on. That's why Toontown isn't a thing, that's why Club Penguin isn't a thing, and that's why I hope Wizards 101 will continue being a thing for a little bit more. MMORPGs lose their population. To blame it all on Cataclysm is such a stupid concept, and it really shows they have no understanding of how time works. You understand? You need to get it. Games die. A game can come up with the best features out there, but if the players have no longer any investment in it because, well, the character they came to kill is dead and gone, they're not gonna sit. They're not gonna stay for everything else, because most people that came into Wrath of the Lich King knew about Arthas, and even if they didn't, they always had an option. They still got enveloped by the good story of that. And despite Cataclysm's good story, it falls short on the fact that Deathwing isn't as notable as Arthas. Deathwing is amazing. It's cool. He's the big boss, the big bad guy, and he deserves every praise that comes towards him. But fickle people will not be able to understand that because they're dumb. Yeah, that's the truth. I'm sorry to say it. No, I'm not sorry to say it. All of you are dumb. You must understand that Cataclysm Classic is the next step forward towards a better game, towards a better experience, towards a better environment, as long as Blizzard doesn't use their stupid dumb shovel to bury everything that makes it good. You understand? Because that's how it goes. That's the biggest problem. Blizzard can sabotage the perfect expansion out there that has the most noob-friendly way of playing, and people will get into it. People will get into it. Look at what we have right now in Shadowlands. Comparatively, when we compare, Shadowlands sucks for new players more than Cataclysm does. Because Cataclysm offers a faster experience, the faster leveling experience, it offers random dungeon finder, and it offers the possibility to raid. Yeah, you know, the thing that many people didn't do because they were afraid of doing it, to, you know, have to deal with so many people. Yes, now they can do that in peace and quiet, and you get to do your heroics without any of those noobs that are doing RDF right now. Or random dungeon finder, or random whatever was raid finder. You get the idea. It is the best expansion for new people. And if you want the game to be enjoyable and at least keep its current population, you need to make it enjoyable for the person that, you know, doesn't really want to level his 17th mage and go through the whole grinding process of going through Westfall and hunting for boars for hours. You know, it's not a fun experience. And random dungeon finder and at any game looking for raid offer a solution to that really incentivizes you to play the game more. But here's the problem. Blizzard is ruled by dumb idiots. From the story perspective, all the way to the gameplay, from the executives, all the way to the cleaning ladies. Except the cleaning ladies. You know what? I changed that. The cleaning ladies are above one Blizzard devs and whatever is in that company. The cleaning ladies are above most of the Warcraft fans that exist in the world, on the forums, and on Twitter. Okay? Those cleaning ladies deserve respect. Most of the other people, no. And because of that, we're gonna have bad things into the game. For example, I'm expecting that if they bring Cataclysm Classic, they're not gonna keep on to looking for raid, which is the biggest problem out there, because they finally have a tool that offers people something good, and they're gonna fuck it up. There's no doubt about it. But I am here to propose to you a better solution. Blizzard should be destroyed. No longer. This company shouldn't exist. Sell the rights to somebody else that can do it. I wish that could happen, and that might happen pretty soon or late, or depends. I don't know about that. I am that great, but I'm not clairvoyant, as you can imagine. But the solution is simple. Bring in Cata Classic proper. No more body types A and B. No more changes. Random dungeon finder and looking for raid. And that way you can ensure that you can get people still into the game by that point, because Cataclysm is what really it starts the good expansions, then followed by Mist of Pandaria, and then dropped by Worlds of Draenor, but we all know that, and risen up again by Legion. Cataclysm starts the good expansions in World of Warcraft. The problem is that people seem to be too dumb to understand that that is the pinnacle, that is the highest point when it comes to experiencing Warcraft. What they want to do is spend 15 hours grinding boars in Westfall and wasting their life away. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Who am I fucking kidding? I'm not sorry at all. You're a bunch of morons if you think that Wrath of the Lich King Classic is better than Cataclysm Classic. Cataclysm as an expansion is 10 times better. Yes, the only good thing about Wrath of the Lich King is Artist and Shadowmourne, but that's kind of where it stops. While Cataclysm Classic brings a bunch of new things that are way needed for this old game that, let's be honest, has less players now than it had during Cataclysm. You're welcome.